Hausas get killed because Hausas are considered by the Fulanis who are on the jihad as expendable, mostly Hausa Christians. A group like Miyota Allah Koto Hore was actually founded specifically to attack the Benue Basin. Then the places where the killing was total was in places like Southern Kaduna, places like Benue, places like Taraba, places like Plateau, because these are the middle belt areas where, because they have water along the Benue Basin and they have beautiful grasslands along the Mambila Plains. That's why the Fulani were fighting against the Kaka and the Pansa in Gembu. Nothing has changed. The frequency of the killings have increased, and that's why we believe if we don't speak up as we should, we will all be dead. When you now see that a lot of displaced Christians who didn't die are still living in IDP camps, while foreigners are now living in their ancestral homelands, this is a problem. Why is it that no modicum of assemblage of Fulanis have come publicly to speak against this? We understand how far we have borne this pain before the world now came to show interest.
All right, sir.
And we beg the world not to abandon us. It is their words that is now forcing reactions in Nigeria.
You see, we're still talking about this Christian genocide. This has exposed a lot of secrets, revealed a lot of things. No, from day one, this is what I said, that this is going to expose a lot of secrets, and it will give opportunity to a lot of persons to come out to speak, to explain what truly happened. Both who were there when things like this happen, who witnessed it. Because sometimes what people have been listening to is they say here, say this, that, this, that. Now people are beginning to understand that people are giving different narratives. Now it is not so. So people that were there when this happens, that witness it, they are now coming out to speak on different issues. It is like this, it happens like this, happens like that. I was there, I was not there. It happens in this region, it happens in that community. Now, a lot of secret has been exposed. A lot of persons have been accused of this insecurity that we are talking about. A lot of persons has been accused that they are the sponsors of these different groups. They are the financier. They are this, they are that. But these people that have been accused many times are still living, going freely. And they are making different confusing and misleading statements, comments here and there. That is even the major problem. Now, I want you to please take your time, listen to this video. You don't know what what behind this killing. What is their motive? What is their aims? What reasons? Why are they doing this? Then you listen to this video, you will understand the history. You know, for you to understand, you need to go back, know what happened. Start from the beginning. Then you will know the reasons why this is happening, why they are doing this. Do you understand? So it is very. Because the country, the state where we are now is very serious. This is very, very serious. Please take your time, watch this video. We'll come back and talk about it. But don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to this YouTube channel.
Commentators will speak in regards to what they know. Some could just make speeches to support some other people. Some also kinds of ignorance. But unfortunately, the international community already have the data. The positions of Tinubu in 2014 is against the Christian genocide. When we saw those Christian genocide, we thought they were actually farmers' headers crisis. I personally, it was when I went to interrogate, I traveled to places like Central African Republic, I traveled to Mali, Central Mali, I went to Burkina Faso, I went to Chad, I even went to Ghana. And that's why I came back to report on Channel Television that there is nothing like a farmer's headers crisis. That there is a properly oiled killing machine intended towards grabbing land from indigenous people. So if you hear people talk, they could just be talking to propagate what they have been begged to say. They're not talking out of knowledge. We in Nigerians who feel the pain, we are crying. Today, the Nigerian government, Hausas get killed because Hausas are considered by the Fulanis who are on the jihad as expendable. Don't forget, in the core Hausa states of Katsina, Zamfara, Sokoto, and Kano, Hausas number up to 90 to 95%. Fulanis are very few of the indigenous persons. But now that the Fulani are looking for land, we in Nigerians who feel the pain, we are crying. Hausas get killed because Hausas are considered by the Fulanis who are on the jihad as expendable. Don't forget, In the core Hausa states of Katsina, Zamfara, Sokoto, and Kano, Hausas number up to 90 to 95%. Fulanis are very few of the indigenous persons. But now that the Fulani are looking for land, they attack Hausas, try to take over their land, mostly Hausa Christians. Hausa Christians in places like Dusima, in places like Malumpashe, Hausa Christians in Kankara, in Basari, and even Hausa Christians in Anka. This thing that you kill Hausas does not mean that they are killing Hausa Muslims. No, they are killing Hausa Christians. Then the places where the killing was total was in places like Southern Kaduna, places like Benue, places like Taraba, places like Plateau, because these are the middle belt areas where, because they have water along the Benue Basin and they have beautiful grasslands along the Mambila Plains. That's why the Fulani were fighting against the Kaka and the Pensa in Gembu. They are also killing a lot of people in places like Southern Kaduna. Those are Christian enclaves. I repeat, the people who told you that they don't know what they're saying. International researchers already in Nigeria and they're finding out what's going on. And every day I see what's going on. This problem didn't start today. Say what they say, they don't know nothing. And anybody who tell you only houses are being killed, they don't even know what's going on. The killing, a group like Miyota Allah Koto Hore was actually founded specifically to attack the Benue Basin by Abdullahi Bello Bodejo. Miyoti Allah Koto Hore was established by Bello Bodejo, who is from Niger Republic, who came to Nigeria, settled in Bauchi State, but came to Nasarawa State to set up his Koto Hore Miyoti Allah militiamen, specifically to attack the Benue Basin. What is the offense of the TV and the Doma? Plus the Agatu. It is because they have land that has water. Just like General Danjuma said, once you have water and you have grass, the Fulani will attack you. So a lot of the places where this has been very rampant are the Christian-dominated areas. And the problem against Christians has been going on for long. Look at the problem against the Igbo, perpetrated by both Fulani Muslims and Yoruba Muslims. You might think it's a tribal. No, it's not tribal anything. It is same persecution of Christians. Igbos represent the largest body of Christians in Nigeria. And persistently, the Nigerian state, as you hear everybody say, has a problem with the Igbo. The same problem against the Igbo is being visited against the TV. The TV are 98% Christians. That 98%, about 92% of them are Catholic. They are the most densely populated Catholics in the whole of West Africa. The chiefs. So, what about Plateau, where the people belong to the King Church, the Church of Christ in Nigeria? That's the transition that they took from the SIM, the Sudanese Interior Mission. And some other people are people of Equatorial. So, these things that we know it. We know it. Who are the people killing them? Muslims who chant Allahu Akbar. And once they Allahu Akbar, they start cutting off people. Whose complicity is that he was a Muslim. Tinubu was fought upon Nigeria on a Muslim ticket. So it's possible because the people killing are Muslims, it keeps quiet for the Muslims to continue to kill so that they can turn everywhere into an Islamic state. Listen to me. We feel it, we know it. Forget about ignorant people who don't know what's going on and the things they say. It doesn't worry us. We are happy. Let the Americans come more than they've been told. And we are very hopeful. I'm in Nigeria and I'm telling you the truth. I'm not a government agent, neither am I. If you don't talk, you will still be killed by the jihadists. How can anybody begin jihad in West Africa in 2025? Tell me. And you know, through the Middle Ages, jihads and the crusades were followed by genocides. It is the genocide and nature of the crusades and the jihads that force populations to succumb so that nobody kills them more. And this is the problem we have. This is the problem we have in Nigeria.
All right, sir. But okay, let me land your thoughts. No, please.
The Fulanis are the ones perpetrating the jihad. It's a Fulani jihad across the Sahel. Our problem is, why did I specifically, I campaigned, I joined others to form obedient movement for one reason, so that we prevent by all means a Fulani from succeeding Buhari. It is essentially dangerous because then they will be able to continue their war efforts. But you can see what has been arrested. I pray Trump's words. So? I know so because I'm in Nigeria. Trump's intervention has caused Tinubu to call a lot of the Fulani leaders and say, look, This thing has to stop. You have to talk to your people to stop the killings. If it doesn't stop the killings, I am aware that Trump's intervention has brought so much fear. That's why you see people calling the Sultan and say, look, you are the head of this Fulani. Stop the killings. The difference is that they have lies to propagate. We have evidences. We have people who are killed. We've been crying. This is real. So we are happy now that the international community are not paying attention to the killings. Don't forget, the international community have intelligence gathering assets all over Nigeria. So they know what's going on. We're not asking them to come and see something new. No, telling them that this thing that is going on has to stop. The majority of people in the north want the Americans to come because the people being killed majorly are in the north. So you're talking about the Fulanis, the Muslims in the far north. What about the Christians in the middle belt? What about even the Hausas who are being killed, Hausa Christians? So what we are saying is end the Christian genocide. Forget the people making noise. It took us time. We've been crying about this thing for the past decade. It is now that the world is beginning now to show interest in our cries. So it doesn't matter what anybody says. We feel very grateful to President Trump for intervening. We pray that he sustains his interest in Nigeria. Why am I going to stop telling the truth? Is it patriotic to lie? Then we all get slaughtered in the jihad? No, that's not patriotic. Because if you keep quiet, when the thief is still in your house with the gun and knife he uses to kill your people, the essence comes out is that they can shout and scream when the husband wants to kill them. People will run from the community and come there and say, oh, but now waiting, now you want to kill her? Well, what's the problem? Do you want to kill her? And that will stop. That's what we're doing. That's what we're crying for. So now, all that thing they lied to us that it was Farmers. It's not Farmers. There's nothing like Farmers that crisis. Boko Haram, all that. Ask yourself, ISIS is here, ISWAP is here. So why are they here? Ask yourself, why are they here? Did they come to Nigeria to watch television? No, they all came to participate in the jihad. And that's what we're saying. Please, the world should set from the hands of the jihadists. There's nothing big about that. It has no rocket science. Good, let them come and they will see with their own eyes what we're saying. And I tell you one basic truth. There are a lot of international investigators currently in Nigeria. Take that to the bank. I met some in some areas in Kaduna State and some areas of Benue State. The world is now coming into Nigeria to gain first-hand knowledge as President Trump spoke to this crisis. When you now see that a lot of displaced Christians who didn't die are still living in IDP camps, while foreigners are now living in their ancestral homelands, this is a problem. How can indigenous people be driven from their areas after they've buried the dead and they cannot return home? In Plateau State, the governor says 65 are occupied, and a lot of them have their names changed. So we're not just making stories up. This is a continuation of that text you saw, the tweet you saw Tinubu make in 2014. Nothing has changed. The frequency of the killings have increased, and that's why we believe if we don't speak up as we should, we will all be dead.
All right. So do you think that this threat will bring back an alliance between Tinubu and Northerners? Do you think it's possible?
Don't forget, the Northerners are divided. There are Northerners who fear for their life because their loved ones have been killed, and they are in the majority. The people that might have Tinubu talk to them, who are actually the people perpetrating the jihad. Our own talks is that why is it that no modicum of assemblage of Fulanis have come publicly to speak against this? Look, it is still part of their takia. They're a very deceptive thing. And when an entire group are silent while their members embark on ethnic cleansings in a strategy to seize land, you've seen the tapes with the Governor Bala Mohammed say they are making efforts to bring up Fulanis from the world into Nigeria. The tapes are still there. They are not made up. The videos are there. So you saw the video of when the presidential spokesman Adesina came to television to say Nigerians should consider giving up their land or they would lose their life. They will lose their life trying to keep the land. I don't make this up. These are things that are caught on video. So we understand how far we have borne this pain. before the world now came to show interest.
All right, sir.
And we beg the world not to abandon us. It is their words that is now forcing reactions in Nigeria. Nigeria is my country, and I love my country. But it is a bad thing for people to be dying every day. Why should Nigeria be home to about 80% of Christian killings across the world?
Now, as regards, number one, the fact that Nigeria has been placed on the list of country of particular concern, and of course, this linking to allegations of a perceived or alleged Christian genocide. I mean, for you as a Nigerian, there's been diverse reactions to this, some for, some against. What's your take?
I think that it's about time that an honest conversation is held about the situation in Nigeria and the Nigerian condition, especially life for minorities in Nigeria, life for different tribes in Nigeria, life for Christians in Nigeria. I think an honest conversation needs to be held, and I'm glad that that conversation is happening now, because a lot of the time when these conversations are being held, I've been a part of a lot of peace and conflict resolution committees for Southern Kaduna and the Middle Belt, and none of these things amount to anything, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of insincerity in the conversation, and Trump's statements have brought the conversation there for all of us. We have to have that conversation now. And at the moment, I mean, I come from Southern Kaduna. I come from a Christian family in Southern Kaduna, and I know what my people have witnessed. I know what it feels like existing in Southern Kaduna, especially in the last regime, under the last government, under El Rufai. It was a really, really tough time for
Sorry, for the benefit of those watching, can you just give an idea of what you experienced and your family experienced in Southern Kaduna?
My village was attacked a couple of years ago. My village was attacked a couple of years ago, and we're a very small unit. I'm Fanswan, we're a small unit within Southern Kaduna. Southern Kaduna is a larger. There are like 53 tribes in Southern Kaduna, and my village is one of the tribes. Like my village houses one of the tribes. And a couple of years ago in June, armed men stormed our village and just started shooting sporadically. Right? They started shooting, killed a lot of people, and then they burnt houses and they left. And it's this kind of attacks we've been facing. Prior to this, what used to happen is we could be having a peaceful day in Kafanchan, for example, which is the larger place where I come from. We could be having a peaceful day in Kafanchan, and then prayer would be called in the mosque, and we'll just sense, a sense of, okay, this is not the kind of normal prayer that is being called. Something is happening. And then the crisis will start, and our people would have to run, our people would have to push back, our people would have to fight back, people would lose their lives, and then police would come, everybody back to your tent, and life continues like we were not attacked. And it had been happening like that. But after a while, that changed. We were no longer seeing the attacks from the people within the Kafanchan vicinity. We started seeing the attacks from people in the bush. So they were coming from the bushes, attack. It was no longer like riots. It was no longer like the normal crisis we have been experiencing. I mean, if you notice, once these herdsmen attacks and these terrorist attacks took over, the attacks from the city, the crisis reduced, because this is now the new method, or this is the new ways in which these attacks happen to our people. So these people coming from the bushes, they shoot at our people, kill people, burn houses, do what it is they want to do, and they disappear. A lot of the times, our people will also say, look, we have seen people in the bushes, so we know where they are in the bushes. You will point them out to the military. We know we have seen them here. Nothing will be done. We'll be attacked. Our people have also tried, to arm themselves, make local weapons that they can use for our boys to do vigilante and protect themselves. It's happening in the Northeast. In the Northeast, for example, there is a civilian joint task force. But in the Middle Belt, we've been asking for the longest time, okay, can our people protect themselves? What happens is the military will come in, collect the weapons from our boys, arrest some of our boys are still in jail. From a long time ago, from Buhari's government, some of our boys are still in jail. Arrest our boys, take them away, arrest anybody that's trying to make makeshift weapons to help the people, take them away, and make it look like, attempting to protect ourselves is an art of war. And it's just like I said, it has been a lot of insincerity around the conversation, and this has been leading to the death of our people. So the bottom line of all of this, our people are dying.
All right, in the just to put, these attacks that you have mentioned in your community, in your village in Southern Kaduna, just to put it within context, are these attacks around religion or tribe? Because, with reference to the allegation of a Christian genocide.
So I would say in Southern Kaduna, for example, we are predominantly Christians in Southern Kaduna, and when we would join the peace and conflict resolution committees, for example, you will hear things like, oh, we were attacked in one part of Southern Kaduna. Okay, so there are 53 tribes in Southern Kaduna. Right? Over 53. I've listed them on social media one time. There are over 53 tribes in Southern Kaduna. And you claim, for example, that you were attacked in a place like Kagoro. Let's give an example of Kagoro. Why are you attacking Kafanchan? Different tribes, different people. Why are you attacking Kafanchan? What does it have? So the excuses have been so many, but at the bottom of it all is that Christians have been getting killed. And how you would know that this is targeted religious and tribal is that, number one, churches are targeted. Our churches are burnt down. Our priests are targeted. Pastors are targeted. It is. This has been going on for so many years. And I would like to point out something that we're not holding in this conversation, Dapo. When this thing started, especially like the broader Boko Haram and all of that terrorism started, it started with the Christians first. Those were the people who were first getting attacked. I remember in places like Borno where they would say, oh, Igbo boys cannot do their shop. We, cannot put the mannequins in their shop because it's haram. You cannot do this. You cannot sell this kind of clothes. You cannot do this. You cannot do that. Christian neighborhoods were being attacked. I will remember talking to a lot of people and they'll be like, oh, no, they're just trying to push Sharia law. They just believe that education is a sin. They are not after anybody. Excuses were made for these people at the time. And I'm wondering why Nigeria is having this conversation without accepting that, this thing happened at that time. We're trying to brush over it. Excuses were made at the time when Boko Haram came out, when it did not look like they were going to be attacking Muslims too. Their first targets, their primary targets used to be Christians before they spread and it became everybody. And now, there's fire on the mountain. So I remember when all of this started, it wasn't everyone, it was a group of people. And it's the same thing in the Middle Belt. You'll be shocked that even on social media, the conversation around bandits and terrorists, when Middle Belt people start saying that we too, we are getting killed, people who are complaining that they are getting killed in places like Zamfara and Katsina will tell us that yes, we are attacking Fulani people, that is why they are killing us. So even while they are still suffering the killings of bandits, they are still making excuses for bandit killings in areas that have people who are not like them. And this is a very dangerous part of the conversation. All of this, when you look at all of this, people who make excuses for terrorism, people who are extremists, therefore, which is a problem, a serious problem that we have in northern Nigeria, religious extremism, specifically Islamic extremism, people who are extremists have been allowed to have a field day in Nigeria. Extremism is the founding father of this terrorism.
Extremism. I think I'll pick it from what where you stopped. You said extremism being the founding father of terrorism, according to you. Well, joining this conversation after the break, we'll be bringing Mohammed Nur Khalid. He's an Islamic cleric to also speak. Let me also take your reaction to Nigeria being placed on the list of countries of particular concern, and also the allegation of a Christian genocide. Is this the situation, particularly in some parts of the country?
Well, let me begin by saying that it is very unfortunate that Nigeria has been placed in as a country of particular concern by the U.S. government. And let me also sympathize with the Christians that were part of the victims of the killing, and also sympathize with all Nigerians that have faced this kind of killing over time. I listened to many, and I have been in one or two conversations about this issue of genocide. But I think if you listen carefully about the narratives and counter narratives that we have, is that people are saying that yes, there is killing in Nigeria, and this is a fact. There is killing in Nigeria, and for a long period of time. And in some places, you find Christians the victims more, and in some places the Muslims are more. But it is not good for us to be counting who is the victim, who was killed. But the victims are Nigerians, and the government is supposed to be protecting people, regardless of their faith and their language, their political alliance, their geographical location, and what have you. We have to acknowledge the fact that Nigeria has been facing these challenges for a long period of time, and the government for that period of time have failed to provide the necessary security needed in the country.
All right,
that is why some citizens went to US to complain, and that is why the US is now trying to take action, or it has started some necessary.
Sheikh, I'm sorry to interrupt your line of thought, but maybe I should move to specifics here. What about what's your reaction to issues around extremism, religious extremism, and some sort of what some would describe as a jihadist agenda?
Well, if you look at what the Boko Haram are doing, is extremism, and they term what they are doing as jihad. But we in the scholarship line of Islam, we know that what they are doing is not jihad, and they are not representing the majority Muslims. As such, we must acknowledge, we must agree that yes, there are some Muslims who went to extreme end of so-called Islam, and they are killing people. That is the Boko Haram, the ISWAP, the Ansar, the Laukurawa, the Ahmadi. All these are reality, but they are not representing. They are not representing us. We are kicking against what they are doing. All my preaching is witness to that. Therefore, we must agree that yes, there are some extremists amongst us, and we must deal with them if we want to stay in peace in Nigeria. We must agree to some extent Christians were the victims.
All right, thank you.
Can you imagine? Now the thing is, what is the problem now? Why are we not being able to solve this problem? Is it too much for the Nigeria military, police, security agencies to solve? No. Is it because they don't know these people? The answer is no, they know them. So what could be the reason? Playing politics with human life. And that's been the major problem. And be the kind of person we have as a president who is not serious, who is not ready to do anything but to win 2027 presidential elections, it becomes a problem that everybody are not talking about it. And if you can't do it, let somebody come and do it for you. And if somebody should come and do it for Tinubu, it will be another problem for your government that you are not capable. Yes, you are not capable. We know that before. But this is a time where you should have proven a lot of us wrong that yes, you can truly do it. You can do it. You have the capacity. What people have been saying about you, you can do it. You are not what they thought you are. Prove us wrong. But yet, you fail to do so. In everything now, you failed. And again, let some of these people from the north stop misleading the public. Let them stop making statements commenting on security issues, because some of them, they are not securities. They are not security operatives. They don't work for the government. So they are not even contributing to they are not contributing at all. So they have no reason to comment, to give any interview on different platforms, misleading the public. There's no way you want to mislead, or you want to say there is no Christian genocide. That one has been established, that there is Christian genocide going on, there is killing going on. All we want is solutions. And these people commenting, making they are not contributing, or they are not providing solutions. They are all just for Donald Trump to see reasons to say there's no Christian genocide going on in Nigeria. Now I also understand that Sheikh Gumi has run away, is there in Turkey, and El-Rufai, yeah, might not be because of this. They traveled, and I know El-Rufai is a student. I don't know if he's finished. I think he's doing his PhD. Maybe that's why he travels. Anyway, he can travel at any time. So with all of this, and the Sultan of Sokoto, that one too, he have a lot of roles to play in this matter. He knows what is going on, and he knows he can contribute to the solution to the problem. Just that these people want this problem being solved or resolved in their own ways. What is their own ways? Probably the government should meet their demands and the demands of the bandits. Not to hurt the bandit. You can plead with them to forgive and not to forget. That's what they are doing. They are pleading with the government. Donald Trump should not intervene. Yet you are complaining. And if you look at this complaint, they are all from the north, complaining that the Trump should not come. Why? Question mark. They are the only one who sees reason why if Donald Trump comes, is not going to be a solution to the problem. What is the solution to the problem? The solution is to pacify this banditry, rehabilitate them, recruit them into the Nigeria Army Force, so that they can work with the Nigeria security to guide the country, which is 0/100 advice there. So that one is not going to work. And you see, a lot of things is going on. And now you listen to Dr. Katch there. He explained where this problem started, how they started. Many of us are aware, all this happening. It is because we are not being proactive to some issues. Government is always reacting, not proactive. All these issues could have been avoided, could have been solved. Shouldn't I be talking about this if government has paid attention to the cries of Nigerians, to the journey, because they have been complaining. People have been complaining, but there is no government. So when you have this area ungoverned, it becomes a problem. It gives rooms to the insecurities to come in. Then now we're talking about this. I listen to a lot of these analysts saying that. Some are just saying nonsense, while some are also having the same views with each other, contributing, saying what others said. But the thing is, are we truly ready in this country? And if we are ready, what is the government himself doing? The government has not spoken to Nigerian people telling us what they are doing, how they want to do it, this and that. We are still waiting. All we want is, we want to have a good country to live in. And yeah, that's all, basically. So I think at this time, state policing is very important. That we should have state policing so that the Tinubu can give a marching orders to these state governors. Give them time, target, within 6 months. We want this problem, so we don't want to hear this in your state again. When you give them marching order, they will all come with their own strategy. Do you understand? Yeah, the military is there now. The military is there, but police, let the governors have controls over the police, so that they will not come back again to say the governors the governors cannot do it. They don't have control over the police. They can't command them. Police does not take instruction from state governor. It takes instruction from their leaders. So from the IG. So all those things. See, from there, if we now have state police, so the governor have access to them, have controls over them rather. So we now know who is not serious. Then who is not serious, then the government cannot react to that one that is not serious. Then you can see all of them, who those that are serious, that have the country or the state they represent, that have the interest of the state at hand. You will see them, how they will swing into actions to make sure their state is being protected under their leadership, under their watch. They will say, you see some of the states, what they are doing, setting up their, creating the vigilante groups just to make sure there is peace. Some are doing well, some are still not even started. So all we're saying is, it is possible. State police. Do you understand? So the governor will not come and saying they don't have access, they can't do this, they can't do that. We now know who is not serious. Differentiate them from those that are serious, that are doing well. It's just like we say the performances of governors now. We know the governors that are doing well. We know governors that are not doing well in terms of performances. Do you understand? It's still going to be the same thing. Let us have state policing. Very important. Now wow, because we can't continue in this manner. And if Donald Trump even failed to intervene this time, it's going to be a problem. And these people will come in full speed. That, oh yes, Donald Trump, and you guys will be happy that Donald Trump want to come and deal with us now. But Donald Trump did not come. We are coming for you guys. That time is going to be problematic. It's going to be serious. Because if they try everything possible, Donald Trump did not come intervene in this matter, either by boot on guns or gun brazen. If Donald Trump did not come now, he removed Nigeria from the list of particular for a country of particular concern. It's going to be a problem, because before Donald Trump will come look into this matter, it's going to be a long time. It's going to be a long time. You have a lot of things to do, but now it's just opportunity. He focused on Nigeria. So yeah, we need to use this opportunity now to allow him to come, so that you and I can sleep and we could do our businesses, go back to our farm. A country where we now have many people in IDP camp. Their ancestral landowners has been forcefully their land has been forcefully taken over from them. They are now in IDP camp. So who does that? And these people are living there, and the security say they don't know where they are. The villages where these people are taking over, they are living there, they eat there, they feed there. So what are we saying? So there's a long way to go. We have a long way to go. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe to this YouTube channel.